Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel Elkanah, and welcome to Pre-Market Info.
Well, we had a little market rally, but we are actually flat right now. Right flat, 1606 and a half. We've been as high as 1614 and a half. So the 8 point rally that we did have this morning has now withered away.
Yeah, a couple things to point out to our traders. 14 and a quarter was Thursday's high, 14 and a half the high so
Double
far in today's
top.
session. Potential double top as always. Looking at below unchanged here, which we were trading right now, there's not a lot really down. Minor support at 1600, but I could see us slipping back to yesterday's low at 1595.50. Also, Dennis, I'd just like to point out, when looking at some stocks this morning, looking at the levels, a lot of stocks closed on their low. A lot of the big components, with the market up 115, 120 points, you wouldn't expect ExxonMobil to close just off its low of the day real quickly. Also, Apple, look at all those red bars there. That
Stop on,
closed near the
yeah, and stop on Apple for a second here. It's crazy. It's had 7 down days in a row. Obviously, we took it to 420. It looks like we're going to try to make a run for that low, which Joel, that we had back on. What is that low back on the 15th?
385.10.
Yeah, it looks like we're trying to make a run for there. And I actually did buy some puts yesterday for today's expiration. I bought the 390s yesterday. Reason I did this is we have the end of the quarter two today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you could see some portfolio managers saying today, look, I think I don't want to have the Apple in my portfolio, or I want to lighten my position so I can say, to obviously to my investors with the weak quarter Apple, we didn't have as much. It's called that's called window dressing, but it's kind of like window
Undress.
undressing almost when they're taking it out of the portfolio. And I'm just banking on that. Maybe that trade's already done. I mean, we've had it down for 7 days in a row. Maybe it reverses today. Who knows? But I'm just taking a shot that it isn't done yet. Maybe we get one more run. I'm possibly at that 385 low today. So I bought the puts for 95 cents yesterday, the 390. Taking a shot here. I think there's an outside chance it can make a run for 385. In which case I'd make 5 points. So I like the risk
Yeah, I tell
return.
you though,
Yeah, go ahead.
if we do break below that 390 and you get to that 385 level, even if it like blasts through there, I would have my offers out there at $5, because it could easily dip $1 below that and then dip and rip.
Yeah.
Even though there's no major support under it, I think you at least get a bounce there the first time. Just finishing up with the theme of stocks that close near the low of the day. Some of your big stocks. Microsoft closed 12 cents off the low of the day. Johnny and Johnny, Johnson and Johnson closed near its low of the day, off 20 cents off its low. GE kind of in the lower quadrant, and also AT&T.
Wow.
So just I don't know if there was huge sell imbalances on the close yesterday, but usually when you expect to see a market up 120, 130 points, you expect that stocks at least close mid-range or near their highs of the day, and that wasn't the case with many of the big components.
Let's move on to gold here because obviously I cannot believe how quickly gold can turn ugly. It was trading up for a lot yesterday. Bring up yesterday's chart. It's down again today. But bring up the intraday from yesterday and you'll see basically it was trading okay until we hit what time was really started. It was up and then all of a sudden boom around I think it was 2 o'clock. We basically sold off $10 in a matter of like 2 minutes. Maybe it was around 3
There it
o'clock.
is.
Oh, there.
There it is.
Okay, yeah, there's the big sell-off there. So yesterday, I'm just looking at the chart there. So yeah, I think it was where 1 or 2 o'clock. Gold just turned around, got ugly, and just started selling off rapidly. Actually, selling off I think more than $25 at one time. So despite the rally did not last long. Lasted only the morning and basically gave back all the gains, and then ended up red on the day.
I know we were kind of tongue-in-cheek in the morning talking about, that gold was up $2 and, it was time for a gold party. Just the only thing I want to alert our traders to, I remember looking at that and talking about it on the show yesterday, and I was looking at the close, and the close on Wednesday, I believe, was just under 1230, and it just was hovering, holding that level. Obviously, when it took out that 1230 level, smashed through the prior low of the
Smash.
move at 12. You were holding 1221. Now you cleared everybody that was leaning on 1200
Yep.
as a stop. So you got rid of those weak longs. And just going back on the monthly here, I just took a couple notes here. Really, you have to go to the rolling contract in this to find some support finally. And people are not going to want to hear this, but back in April of 2010, we traded down to 11.50.50. So that could be on the radar over the next couple days.
Yeah, it's just scary. I mean, we just haven't found the bottom yet. Eventually, it's due for an update. I mean, you just don't see gold fall $200 and not eventually get some type of bounce. Long term, still, I still don't like it. I still think we're in a long term secular down move in gold overall, but short term, it's gonna have a bounce. It's gonna have a short squeeze more than anything eventually because you got a lot of people short this thing. Everybody's basically throwing it out, saying how terrible it is, and eventually you will get some type of short squeeze. I think that's gonna happen the next day or two. It's just a matter of where it happens from. Do we fall another $30 and then bounce, 30, or do we, continue to cascade for a couple more days? Eventually, we're due for a short squeeze in this though because it's just oversold. That's all though. That's all it is. I think is a short squeeze. So I'm just trying to say I don't think I'd like long-term invest in gold here right now. I still think you might come lower here 6 months from now. But short-term, I do think there's going to be a tradable bounce here eventually.
Yeah, you got to wait for kind of a double bottom, or at least a day or two of consolidation. It's just not going to turn around on a dime and go back up.
Interesting enough, crude here actually has been holding up quite well. Is that 5 days in a row that crude's been up?
Yep.
5 days in a row.
Well,
So
it's four. It's working on its fifth.
Working on
today.
its fifth today, so fifth day of making new highs on the move anyways. And crude is trading slightly higher, just barely here this morning, up 28 cents at 97.33.
Right, 97.82 is the high of the session. We did sneak over the 98 level a couple days ago, 98.22. That's going to be major resistance today if we can rally another 70 cents. Crude likes to do a lot of intraday reversals here, so if you are playing it from the long side, you have the intraday low so far at 96.55. I think you take that out. Don't see a lot going down to the yesterday's low at 95.35, but still in the uptrend for now. Wouldn't like to see it take out that 96.55.
Let's go on to the individual stocks. The big mover, big down move here today. It's your biggest loser of the day, down 21%, is BlackBerry, BBRY. Actually, it's trading 11.5 now. They announced earnings. They missed on the top. They missed on the bottom. Lost 13 cents. Supposed to make 8. 3.07 billion versus 3.37 billion, so they were way light on the revenue too. Terrible, terrible report here for BlackBerry, and they are taking the stock out behind the woodshed and beating it to a pulp.
Someone making a little stand here at 11.30. Yeah, that's held up over the last half hour. Only 11 cents away from there, 8 cents away from there. Probably be through it by the end of the show. Just nothing to like about these numbers. I'm not sure if the daily is going to do us anything. Let's go out to the weekly in this thing. Boom, boom, boom. You're in a vacuum area here. Perhaps you might get a little interest in this issue. $11 is a nice whole number, but if you're holding out for a level below that, 10.59 was low. I don't think it's going to get
it was 15. It was $15 yesterday. This ticked up to 15.09. We were trading 11.30, and now we're talking about a 10.59 support. I mean, who knows? Joe just fell $3 and fall another 70 cents to get your support. Like that can happen. This is trading so rapidly right now. 8.4 million shares have already traded. Basically, it's trading 1,000, 2,000 shares a second right now here. Just watching the trades go by as they fly by here. So this is going to be probably one of your most active stocks, obviously, on the day. And this is just an incredible, incredible sell-off here for BlackBerry.
Too bad we didn't preview it yesterday and look at the weekly. We would have seen 3 weekly highs at that $15 level. Obviously, someone wanted out there.
Someone was
over
smart.
The last few weeks.
Someone
Even
was
snuck
smart.
above there. Snuck above there yesterday. But I don't know. I mean, I guess you could consider this a tech stock, but just hitting skids today. Sorry for the BlackBerry owners.
Yeah, Accenture hitting the skids here too. ACN, they reported earnings last night, and they They actually beat on the bottom
Whoa!
line. I know it's just been destroyed. $1.14 versus $1.13, but they missed on the revenue and they didn't like that. 7.2 billion versus 7.4 billion. They didn't like the comments. They didn't like anything really about it here. The stock is actually trading down almost $8 now at 72.90. This is an ADR, obviously. 80.22 is where the stock closed. So this is just getting killed as well.
72 and a quarter has been the low so far. I made that in the after hours. Since that 72 and a quarter pop has not been able to get above the $74 level. 73 was the high just not too long ago, so we use 74 as resistance. I would keep an eye on that 72 and a quarter low. Did get a pretty good pop off that. Don't think the daily is going to do us much here. Let's go out to the weekly in this stock. There's a nice round number for you, right around the 70 level.
Ooh,
Hit
that's $3
$69.79.
away. We ain't gonna see that. What are those couple other? There's a couple. If you go right to the next bar
Yeah,
over.
you're right. I think we're already through those two.
Are we?
No, actually not. No, you're right. You're right. 71.48, 71.58. Just called that level.
Buck away
71.53
from
were a
here.
couple weekly lows back in February of this year. So, folks, keep an eye on that level. 72.10 was also a low in that area on the weeklies.
IBM down probably off sympathy with Accenture. Obviously, similar services businesses, and with Accenture down this far and not looking that good, they were concerned about the IBM services business
Wow.
too. And IBM is actually trading down $3 right now at 192 and a half. Closed
Woo.
at 195.65. So IBM dangerously close. The low from 4 days ago and made the lows when everybody's washing out and everything. The low was 194.34 on the 24th. That's the bogey that I would keep an eye on if you're trading IBM here today.
Yeah, that stock over the last couple of days too, with their big rally in the market, couldn't even claw its way back to the $200 level. Just consolidating. I will keep an eye on the 191.34 level, buck away from there. Let's see what they've had to do in the pre-market. Pre-market, they've taken it just down to 192.01, so that's a temporary level here. But IBM not reacting well to this ACN news.
Nike reported earnings there last night. Bring up the after hours chart on this one, Joel, because they reported 76 versus 75, so they beat on the bottom line. 6.7 billion versus 6.64 billion, beat on the top line. That initially was conceived as good, and Nike actually was trading up almost $2, actually over $2 after hours on that initial report. Conference call came out, and like the comments are saying, started beating it up in the conference call, and boom, 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 boom. Stock is now trading down $1, so basically trading 3 points below its after hours high there when it was trading over 64.5. It's now trading 61.65.
64.75 you hit in the pre-market. After hours, you came down all the way to 60.60. Since that 60.60 rebound, you are finding some minor resistance at 62. So that'd be a level I would keep an eye on. Looking at the charts here, had a nice 4-day run here coming off the $59 level. Keep an eye on the low that you had, 60.79. That was just that was back on Wednesday, so that should be an important level, and I believe that the pre-market activity took it right there. So that's my bogey on the downside, 60.79.
Pfizer on the news here announcing a new $10 billion share repurchase after hours last night. Stock is trading up again here this morning. Bring up that chart, after hours chart. 28.5 is where it's trading after closing at 28.18. So Pfizer getting a nice lift here in the pre-market.
After that news was announced, popped up to 28.62. Now getting a lot of consolidation here at the 28.50 level. Haven't really been talking about this stock that much. I know it's been in the news with its spinoff of that Zodis. 28.66 was yesterday's high. We hit that in the pre-market. That is a good level. Keep an eye on. Above that, you could be sneaking up towards the $29 level. But there's always an overreaction of these stock buybacks. Traders act like they're sending the order to the market to buy right then and there, and they like to do it on weakness. They don't like to do it on strength.
Couple upgrades here this morning. You are getting Bed Bath and Beyond upgraded at Bank America, which is triple BY, and you're also getting ZUM Zebra, which is Zuma's, getting upgraded at Wedbush. So let's go to the BBBY first, though. Stock trading up here a little bit in the pre-market. We are up another 80 cents here this morning.
Yeah, they got real spotty activity here. What I'd be keeping an eye on if I was active in this issue, we're trading at right now. 70.99 was the high in the 20th. Currently trading at 70.93, but on a little 100 shares there. So
it's bid there though.
Yeah, it's bid there.
Yeah, it's bid up there. Our best offer's up at 72.20. What was the high there back from 6 days ago? Because that's where the offer is right now. Is that 72?
72.36.
Okay, so this guy's 72.20. He's sitting up there looking like he's leaning on the high of the move there, which is actually coincidentally, the 52-week high, if I'm just looking a little bit further out, is 72.36, Joel. So that guy's sitting right on the 52-week high. Oh no, it's 72.20.
It's just an upgrade, though, right?
Yeah, it's just an upgrade. But an upgrade on a $70 stock. Usually an upgrade will pump a stock a couple percent. So that would push it up into that 72 area if the upgrade does come through and give it a 2% up push. Usually, depending on who the brokerage is, an upgrade can give you anywhere from 1 to 3, 1 to 4%. If it's Goldman, sometimes it can give you upwards of 4%. On a Bed Bath and Beyond, I think a Bank America upgrade is probably worth a couple of percent, possibly. So I would not be surprised if we tested that 52-week high today.
I would be.
I would be. It sounds like a bet. So you think we can't test 72? I think we test, meaning it gets up there above 72. This guy's offered 72.20. I think he can get above 72 today. You think it's going to go above 70? You want to take this?
We haven't bet a six pack in a while. I'll take that.
Okay, I'm saying it ticks above 72 today, Joel. So it doesn't tick under 72. 71.5. Does the pre-market count? Because it just bid 71.5 right now. I'm going to go bid at 72 and get just doing the six pack.
No, pre-market.
Pre-market doesn't count. Oh, give me a break. Okay, that's fine. I'll bet you the six pack anyway. Six pack, that's more than our usual. And I'll end up being drunk here off that. Zuma's, Z-U-M-Z, go to that one because that's upgraded at Wedbush here. It is trading up in the pre-market about 1.3%, so 28.33 bid there right now, getting a little bit of a lift after actually, it's been coming back the last couple days. Yesterday's high was 28.57, so it's trying to press it up to yesterday's high.
Right, previous day's high was 28.46 too, so the opening into some resistance there, if in fact it can get through there. Major resistance 29, that was the high on June 19th.
We only got a couple minutes left. Just want to briefly say, obviously it's the end of the quarter, which we hinted at when we were talking about Apple, so you will see end of the quarter volatility. It is also the Russell rebalance. The Russell reconstitution is today after the close, meaning stocks are coming in and getting added and deleted from the Russell here. The Russell does publish the projected additions and deletions on the Russell site, which actually I can bring up here just for recorded listeners.
What's the symbol on the Russell, Dennis?
The Russell 2000 is a tracking ETF, which is IWM, and the Russell 1000 IWF. These are individual stocks that are going to go in and out of it. So basically you have the additions, which sometimes get pressed up into this Russell reconstitution day, and the deletions typically get pressed down. But those moves typically happen for the last couple months, and if you look, you've actually seen runs. And what's typically happens is after the reconstitution, some of those stocks that were getting put in and were getting ran up just because they're getting put into the index actually often give back some of those gains. So there's more of a swing trade here. It used to be some day trades, but now the high frequency traders play all with these Russell rebalances. You'll see some crazy imbalances at the close on a lot of these stocks, and sometimes they'll whipsaw and they'll go from buys to sells, and they'll kind of be all over the place. I would expect volatility in any of these stocks that are getting added and any of these stocks that are getting deleted, especially at the close. But the bigger trade is often to fade some of the moves that have happened, not fading them today, but fading them next week after they're put into the actual Russell.
You got any issue?
You can look at a few, look at something like a ZLC, which is a candlestick, or which is Zale Corp here. You can see the run up it's had here. If you bring up the chart on ZLC, look at the run it's had. It's getting added in. You can see it's ran from basically $4 at the beginning of May up to 9.15. So this has been a pretty crazy run.
Whew.
Now today it will be crazy. I'd imagine you're going to see volatility in the last 20 minutes or so. This thing's probably going to chop around. I wouldn't be surprised to see 50, 70 cent moves in this thing today, as indexers are positioning themselves. But longer term, it's hard to say. You never know. It's just statistical arbitrage. That's all it is. More often
That's a
than not,
big run up for just it
yep.
going into the
And this is
Russell.
these things typically can do stuff like this. They can run like that. Another one, AHC, if you want to bring up that chart, it's had a pretty good run there too, sitting at near the highs, been slowly moving up. So you can see some of these stocks go in and they actually show strength ahead of time. And a lot of times these moves over the course of the next month or so, or even the course of the next couple of weeks, can sometimes give back some of these moves. So today, obviously, is the day that they're going to either go in or come out, depending on if they're added or
You
deleted.
got any that are coming out that just to see if there's an opposite pattern on
Yeah,
these?
just go through. I'll go to the deletions here. You can look at some stocks. I'll just randomly grab a couple ticker symbols. DM is coming out. DM. You can see
Mm-hmm.
that. EML coming out. That's actually run up here the last day or two. Interesting enough, it's actually, see how it had the sell-off, it's back up, and it's kind of sold off, and now it's kind of going the other way. A lot of times you'll see these things suddenly start going the other way, where the deletes will rally on the last day, just because everybody's already positioned that way, and people were anticipating, and obviously the
That's a
high-frequency
weird
traders
one.
like to screw everyone, so... Nothing against high frequency traders, but they like to punish people. FES is another one that actually hasn't done much. Sometimes the deletions are so low because they're getting deleted because the market caps are obviously come down. So a lot of times these are like dollar stocks and they're getting deleted because they're only a dollar. Look at
Yeah,
MUX. Here's an interesting one. McEwen Mining MUX. Bring up this chart. Because this one here, MUX, yeah, that's just been absolutely annihilated. And I think that is just probably mostly because of the Russell. So I would not be surprised if, in the next few days, this stock actually starts to show a little bit of life here again. Because it's basically been halved in the last 3 weeks. And that's basically, there's index arbors coming in, selling the thing because it's getting knocked out. And they know that they've got it. The Russell ETFs and stuff have to actually
well,
sell this.
if they're mining for gold, there's
There you
probably
go.
another.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's true too. So we shouldn't just say it's all because of the Russell. It's
whatever they're
obviously
mining for, they're obviously not finding very much of it.
it's not doing well anyway. So I don't know if I'd be buying the miners. You're right, because there's a whole other play there off of the gold too. But just trying to show you that there is obviously pressure, upward pressure on the stocks that are coming in, and downward pressure on the stocks coming out, and that will all end after the close today. I don't suggest to our traders to trade this close on these things or to even trade these things today, just because the volatility can be absolutely crazy. You get whipsawed, you can lose 10% on something in a hurry. Markets.
Catherine asked about the website that you were looking for that. That you
Yeah,
got
just
there
hang on.
yet?
It's on the Russell. So if you go over to it, it's just the russell.com right on the front website, and then you can just go and talk and just look for the reconstitution. Then you'll see reconstitution additions and deletions, and you can look through that. And what we can do is on our website we can post a link to it as well. So just to in the little write up, we'll post a link to where you can go see the additions and the deletions, just to be cognizant of what is coming in and what is coming out. But expect major volatility in all of those issues that are going in and out today for sure.
Okay, I know you were looking at trying a long and looking for the S&Ps to get up to 1620 yesterday
Didn't
when we
do
were
it,
talking
no.
about it. Ran out of steam yesterday. Got three ugly red bars here over the last half hour, 45 minutes. Pretty good drop, 1612 down to 1606. Right coming in, right into the close, right into the overnight low here. Mr. Bull, you think we're just going to hold the close here and go back up and test that 1614
No,
level?
no. And like I said, I got off the bullish camp there. You can know from the show if you've been listening. I got off the bullish camp about a week ago, a week and a half ago. I'm just not in love with this market at all here. Long term, who knows? Short term here, I think that 1614 now is a tradable area where you could try to initiate some shorts here again. I think we've had the bounce. I think this market has seen its highs possibly for quite a while when you're pointing up there when we got up to the 1670 or wherever the hell we got.
1680 in this
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah,
16.
and we've bounced back a lot here in the last three trading sessions. So I think you've got a lot of people coming into a whole area where there was a lot of consolidation. I wanted to see it get up to 1620 so I could initiate some shorts. It didn't quite get there, so I'm kind of disappointed. 1614 maybe is the number now. We get up there to test today's high, 1612. I'm going to look at possibly initiating some shorts just for myself. Obviously, I'm not always right, not always wrong, but that's what I think. I think it's tradable bounce here from the short side, possibly.
Okay, and just to really throw a weird twist on things here, we had a 130-point break here in the S&Ps, and we got a little bit of a rebound. So if they can't get back above this 16-14 level, I think over the next couple days, you can do another 130-point projection off that level, and that has you trading under 1500.
Well, that's our show for today, guys. Have a great trading session. Have fun with the Russell there. We will be back at you Monday.